Hello to you today. This is the last visit of my holiday, and we are heading towards that dolmen over there called the Devil's Den. Now, it is an ancient burial chamber, and it is unusual because it is in a valley. Most of them are on hills, but this one is in a valley. And I visited this a few times before. There are quite often crop circles in these fields around because it is on some kind of ley line. And I've just doused the geospirals. These places are built on areas and they create, or there were geospirals there before, often quite energetic places in the landscape. Now, I haven't brought my neck holder, so I don't know if it's going to work. Let's just try one dowsing rod. There are 22 spirals around this because I just measured them. Okay, and they start right back at that. You see that fence? They start there. They might even spread out further. Okay, so let's walk towards it. First of all, let's ground and protect. And we're just going to walk towards it. There we go. There's one. Can you see the rod moving? And it'll straighten again when we walk past. There's another one. Okay. Straightens again when we walk past the energy loop. And another. Okay, getting the idea. And there's another one. And I can subtly feel these in my body. So it's taken me about 2 hours. There's another to walk here from Avebury Henge, following OS Explorer map. Another 157. I had to face my fear and walk through a field of cattle with a bull. I'm terrified of cows. And I walked past a place called Fyfield Down. There's another. And here to Clatford Bottom. And I'm going to spend a day here and we're going to do a healing at this place. Another. So this is a Neolithic burial chamber. It has been put back together. There's a lot of stones at the sides of these fields. And you'll see they're starting to get closer together the nearer we get to it. And again. And again. There we are. Right, let's put the rods away. Okay, look at this. I hate the name Devil's Den. I discovered this is the third time I've been here. And I haven't visited for about 7 years, and the ecology of the field has changed. It was just grass the first time I came. Second time there was a lot of these weeds. And there are sometimes sheep grazing in here. So if you do visit, and it is off the beaten track of Avebury, not many people know it's here. But let's walk sunwise around it so that you can get a full view. I mean, how these ancients did this, lifted it up with poles and ropes and cattle and manpower. So you can see the concrete there holding it up. That bit is man-made. It is a fantastic empty place. I'm going to spend a good few hours here in contemplation. I'm going to do your healing. But this is the Devil's Den. And when I first arrived with my friend the first time, we were interested in dowsing and how it worked, and we entered from the south, where I'm looking to now. And walked up from the main road. I've walked up over the Ridgeway and across Fyfield Down. It's about a 2-hour walk. But when we first came, those geospirals hardly worked. An old forgotten place. So we sat here for about 3 or 4 hours just working magic, meditation, singing songs. I even cartwheeled around it with my little dog running behind me. I'll put a picture at the end of this. And when we left and we measured the geospirals out, they were whoosh, really strong. The rods were like really definite, whereas before they were a little bit like today. But let's go and have a look inside. These are sarsen stones. There's some down here that have fallen down and broken. Let's kneel down and you can get a sense of the roof of this giant sarsen from the next valley from Fyfield Down. There may be some offerings. Let's have a look. Yeah. Oh yes, there's some little offerings. Lots of flint. Leaves, they may be offerings, they may have just been blown in. Someone's placed a stone there. We're going to place a little apple there that I've brought along with me. There may also be some stuck up here. So I probably found this place about 10 years ago. Precariously balanced. If I look down, there's all sarsen stones broken, and there are some at the side of the fields. As I keep saying, this is a place that you trip over monuments. And this is it from the front. I think somebody has left that stone there as an offering. But let's get inside. And I'm perching. And energy changes inside it ever so subtly. My head is literally touching the roof. I don't know if they have ever found any bodies here. Maybe it was another observation place as well. Of course, all of these facts that I tell you, I might be slightly wrong. There's such long timelines here. But here we are at the Devil's Den in Clatford Bottom, Wiltshire, England. Let's just walk around it again for you. And I keep saying this, if you're coming walking, bring your Ordnance Survey maps. I did go a little bit off piste, got lost for about 20 minutes. There are walkways everywhere. It's not as well signposted as I would have liked because I managed to get lost. And your phone will not work for most of the journey. You're only on SOS or 3G. So I just found a feather. So let's go and poke that in there. And I've seen deer on the way up here. Beautiful red deer. There you go, ancients. And you can have this place for yourself. It is not too far to walk from the road, which is to the south, and it's along a well-used track. So that is probably a very good way for you to come from Marlborough, in between Marlborough and West Kennet. West Kennet Long Barrow is that way, and Silbury Hill is that way, Avebury is a bit more that way. So I'm going to post this with all of the walks, and I'm going to post the healing separately. And there will be little extra bits here and there. Some places yesterday I didn't have the mic and it is windy. There will be warnings. But I'm going to sign off now and get ready to do your healing. Hello to you all today from the Devil's Den Doleman in Clatford Bottom, Marlborough, near Avebury in Wiltshire. This is part of the Barrowlands, and we're going to do some ancestral healing today. I have a couple of things with me, and I bought some apples as well that I picked along the walk this morning, and I'm going to cut them up and leave them as an equinox offering to the ancestors. So whilst I'm getting my little bits and bobs out, I want you just to take a breath in from the ground. Hold the air in your lungs for a little while, and then breathe out any aches, pains, and illness. Take a second breath in from the skies above you, holding the air in your lungs for a little while, and then breathing out any worry and anxiety. Take a third breath in from the waters surrounding our sacred lands and within them. Hold the air in your lungs for a little while and breathe out any sadness. And finally, taking a deep breath in from the sun above you, hold the air in your lungs for a little while and breathe out any anger or frustration. Settling your breathing down to your natural rhythm now. And I want you to imagine opening the holes in the bottom of your feet. Touch the earth as well, opening the hand chakras. You can say Aho if you wish. Or just thanking the land, tapping into it, sending your roots all the way down, down, and down into the ground. They push down through the soil and the stones, deeper and deeper, until they find a foothold somewhere beneath this dolmen, tapping into that geospiral that surrounds it 22 times, 22 rings of energy I managed to douse. You can see that in a walking video. Now, we are going to do an ancestral healing today. So I am going to draw the yew tree. When I can find it for you, I will show you what it looks like. The yew tree is an ancestral tree. And I can't find it. Let's have a look. It is an ancestral tree. Here it is. So in Celtic Reiki, I'm just going to draw that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Connecting you to the wisdom of the ancestors. And we're going to send ancestral healing down into the timelines below you, into the timelines that follow you. I want you just to imagine now that you are standing or sitting as I am, and behind you are your parents. Behind them are their parents. Behind them are their parents, and so on and so forth, until you have a pyramid, a lineage of people, some you'll know, some you won't know, behind you. Your ancestors. This little guy here is sarsen stone. He was purchased at the Henge shop in Avebury. This is ethically sourced stone. I presume they need a license for it. And I'm not normally drawn to skulls, but he just spoke to me and called me, wanted to come home and be in our videos. So this is representing our ancestors. Just going to send you the energy of that stone. And I'd like you now to just make that intention, set that intention to heal anyone in your lineage of any emotional, mental, physical, even the people perhaps who were not so nice, and we all have them in our family. Perhaps you have inherited illnesses. Perhaps you have inherited learnt behaviors. Perhaps you carry an ancestral guilt of what was done to your ancestors or what your ancestors did to others. And just send those down the roots now, those wishes, those love, those forgiveness, the joy, the sadness, anger. And I'm going to just take this pendulum, this bog oak pendulum. It is the same as this little bog oak wand that I have. And I'm just going to spin this over you. Cleansing, clearing, shifting, healing, removing, dispersing anything which our guides and our ancestors know needs to be released at this time. Okay, I'm going to draw. This is a nice little travel wand. I'm going to draw. Earho, 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 earho. That is the distant healing symbol. It is similar to Honshadze Shoten. And you may have someone in your mind's eye stepping forward now. And we send love and light to them. Just brush away. We're going to draw Beth, which is the birch tree. And as I'm looking around, it is hawthorns that I see predominantly around. So we're going to draw Hweth. Hawthorn in. So you helps you accept the inevitable. It also helps with reincarnation, destiny, death, rebirth, new starts, and helps you connect with the past. The birch brings forth new beginnings. It brings change, the birth of new ideas, and a general good fortune. And Hweth, hawthorn, brings protection. It also brings, I've lost my train of thought, purification, learning through adversity. And it is an action tree. It also brings fertility, helps with your sexuality, but also those who self-sacrifice. I'm just going to roll a rune. We have another self-sacrifice. We have Tia or Tiawaz. So another self, to all of those ancestors who have sacrificed something for their offspring, for those that follow them. Let's draw that into you. Tiawaz. Tia. Now you hear me say a couple of names because I learnt Anglo-Saxon runes at the same time I learnt Norse runes. Spiraling anything away from you now. And remember our ancient Secilius epitaph from ancient Greece. While you live, shine. Have no grief at all. Life exists only for a short while. Then time demands his toll, reminding you to live in the now, to try and be happy with your lot. Trusting your journey along the untamed path and the winding trail, obtaining your pilgrim's peace from this long hidden friend, from our long hidden lineage, bringing that energy of this dolmen towards you. Breathe in, relax, relax. Nobody wants anything from you at this moment. Nobody needs anything from you at this moment. Let's roll our Ogham. Okay, so we have Col, we have Hazel. Actually, no, we have Apple. I still struggle with these because they all look so similar. Quert, Apple. How appropriate for this time of year. Choosing that which is beneficial to you. Love, beauty, healing, nourishment, joy, and living fully in the now, like our Secilius epitaph says. Let's draw that into you. Quert. And I think this is a good time to make our little offerings. So I'm going to cut this one into 4 with my ritual knife. And then I'm going to cut this one, like witches do, across the equator of the apple. And we should have, there we are, whoops, everything's flying away. We should have our little, there's some kind of grub, or is that a seed? That's a grub, so I would need to, but we have our little star, our Venus star. It's a good idea to do an apple cleansing at this time of year. So we're going to go and put those now. I'm going to put it where the birds can get at them. Or any wildlife that comes towards us. Breathe down to your feet. Breathe down to your roots and beyond. Breathe and live for all of these people standing behind us, all of them cheering you on, the ancestors. Now, incidentally, if you do not know who your ancestors were, perhaps you were adopted, you've got 4 sets of clan members. You've got your bloodlines, You've got your adopted clan's ancestors. And as one of our Druid elders, Caitlin Matthews, says, there are two lines of ancestry. There is the vertical bloodline, but there is also the horizontal landline, the land's memories. So we're going to just send some healing to them. Healing the land that we stand on, for any transgressions towards her or the peoples who lived there before we did. Yeho. 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 Take that breath in. Bring that energy into your psyche, your energy field, and towards our ancestors and the land. Breathe in. Relax as you breathe out. Breathe in. And relax as you breathe out. Breathe in. And relax as you breathe out. Now I want to show you something that I found at Windmill Hill, which is the first ever settlement. Now, when I walked on top of the Doleman, or the tumuli there, I saw this very kind of almost round chalk, and it was just lying. So I picked it up, thinking nothing of it. And I went to the ancient museum yesterday, and they said there were a lot of chalk balls found at Windmill Hill. They don't know what they were for. There's a little bit just come out, but it is almost whole and is almost round. So maybe these were used in slingshots to catch the animals, but just turning from hunter-gatherers into farmers around 6,000 years ago. Maybe they were games. And I showed this to them and asked if they wanted it, and they said, no, we've got loads. So I can take this home. So I thought that this is going to be a very nice perch for our little skull. So you'll see this guy a lot, especially around Samhain. He has beautiful colours. He has the initial of the person who made him. He even has those jaw hinges, which I do not have because of my jaw accident. I have bolts and hinges there now. And he's got a little nose and tiny eyes. This is from the Henge shop in the middle of Avebury. So now, just going to smooth your aura down. One of your ancestors is going to step forward and walk in front of you now. I want you to close your eyes. Don't worry if you can't see them. But what words do they say to you? Pops into your head right now. And we'll do a final roll of the rune and the ogham together. So we have ing, which means belonging from the rune. This is your tribe. And we have Taina, holly. Balance, integrity, justice, tests and ordeals, courage, mastery over the self, legal or money matters, and growth. So I'm just going to take the wand now. I'm going to draw it as a kind of bind ogham rune. Taina, ing. Now, you're probably pretty grounded, aren't you? I'm going to give you these just to hold, one in each hand. Breathe in. Send your roots down again and watch your ancestors walk into the dolmen. They turn around and file back. And you know that you have helped them today. And I send you love, light, health, happiness, vigor, and justice from the Devil's Den, which a name I do not like, in Clatford Bottom. Thank you for watching, and bye-bye for now.